So the last time you saw me, it was back in January, and I had just decided that this was going to be the year that I put all of my efforts into fishing Redhouse. I knew it was going to be tough fishing this rather tricky water through the winter months, and my angling abilities were going to be tested to the full. But I was really up for the challenge. It's now the middle of September and autumn is in full swing now, and I've lost count of how many nights I've spent on the banks trying to catch my first Redhouse carp. Countless hours of watching the water, changing rigs and refining my presentations has finally paid off. So I thought it was about time I gave you an update on how I've been getting on, and also show you some of the stunning residents that live in this lake. So for those of you who followed my channel from the beginning, you'll know that I've fished Redhouse for a few years now, and I've actually been a member of here since 2015, and I've kind of like fished it on and off for the last few years, and yeah, I thought last year, or decided in January, that this year was going to be my year to give Redhouse my full attention. It's a very special lake, and it holds some very special fish as well. And yeah, Redhouse isn't the sort of place that you want to be coming down every now and again. You really need to be fishing the water, learning the water quite well, and really giving it your full-time attention. So yeah, that's what I decided to do in January. So in my last vlog, you saw me fishing the point, and yeah, I just got down here. That was the middle of January, and I decided to fish the point swim. The whole lake was actually empty, so yeah, I decided to fish the point swim mainly because you can get a good view of the whole water from there. And yeah, I just wanted to have a good look around, make sure I had a good view of the lake, so I could see if I could see any fish showing. I could get some sort of idea where the fish were located. So yeah, the point swim was probably the best place to start from. I also thought the best way to fish in January was just by fishing solid bags. So yeah, I've just had a load of solid bags ready tied up in my bucket, and yeah, I was just dotting them around the swim. And if I did see any signs of any fish, be it bream or tench or anything really. I was just putting a solid bag on top of them in the hope of getting a bite. So I fished the lake quite hard throughout the winter, and yeah, it was pretty tough going, as it is with any lake during that time of the year really. So I started moving around the lake quite a lot and fishing a few different swims, and just basically trying to get a feel for the lake again, and also just trying to see if I could locate the fish. And yeah, that would have been nice to have got a winter bite. And also our eyes are probably the best tool we've got for locating fish, so I just made sure that I was watching the water all the time, just trying to see if I could find any fish anywhere, not only to try and get myself a winter bite, but it was also going to pay dividends for the coming months. If I could find out where they were holding up, and perhaps I could start getting a little bit of bait in those areas and try and hold them there. So March came around pretty quickly, and yeah, the days were starting to get a little bit warmer as the sun started getting a bit higher up in the sky, and the trees were starting to bud and the reeds were starting to shoot, and yeah, basically the bird life was becoming a little bit more apparent as well. So yeah, the lake was then starting to wake up, and having fished here in the summer before, in the spring and summer and autumn months, I was really looking forward to seeing Redhouse in its full bloom as well, because it really is a beautiful lake. I made a point of always arriving at the lake before sunrise, so I could have a good mooch around, have a good look around. I find especially this time of year, or in the colder months, that's probably the best time to spot any fish. And the misty mornings and foggy mornings made Redhouse look really carpy, and filled me with confidence as well, and really made me feel excited to be here. I made a plan to fish what's known as the Pride Bank. This side of the lake gets quite less busy during the summer months, or during the warmer months anyway, basically because it's the furthest from the car park, and it's quite a push of a barra. I'm lucky enough that I've got a power porter, so it's not too much of a trudge for me. And my style of fishing is I like to get an area going. I like to get an area going, try and bait an area, and try and find an area that's going to produce fish for me especially during the warmer months. So I started having a good lead about, and I found the colder months are a good time to do this, not only because the lake bed's pretty devoid of weed, but there's not many other anglers about. Now I do know where most of the main features are in the lake, having fished here for quite a while before, but I just wanted to find myself a little area with a nice little feature that I could start applying a little bit of bait, and try and get an area going. I started introducing the Monster Red with a little bit of the Monster Red pellet in there as well, and I just put a little bit of the Monster Red glug on there. So I thought a change of tactic was in order. So I stopped using the solid bags, and I decided to go on to the Monster Red bottom baits, and I was just using these on a simple blowback rig, and I was glugging the Monster Red bottom baits just for that little bit of extra attraction. I didn't really have any issue with fishing the bottom baits because there was plenty of clear areas, and found some nice rock hard areas as well, so yeah, I didn't really have any issue with fishing the bottom baits. And I also wondered whether pop-ups were the way to go. I tried to avoid them because I think the fish in here have seen it all. I expect 90% of the people who come on here fish white pop-ups, yellow pop-ups, pink pop-ups, bright pink pop-ups or whatever. So I think the fish are probably going to be sussing those out and steering around those. So I just wanted to try and do something a little bit different. And yeah, that was my approach to the whole campaign on here, was just to do my own thing, try not to listen to what other people were saying, and just to try and do my own thing and try and work it out myself, really. Unfortunately, the blanks kept coming. Not for want of trying, really, but yeah, the blanks kept coming. But you know, I was really enthusiastic about what I was doing, and I'd really got the buzz as well to get stuck into Redhouse. So April came and I decided to concentrate on a swim right at the top of the lake, and this had to be probably the furthest barra push from the car park. Again, the reason I wanted to get up there is because it was furthest out of the way. So also there's quite a few features in front of this swim as well. To the left you've got a few plateaus, and these go from about 12 foot in the water right down to about 16 foot, so it's quite a prominent feature. You've also got a big shallow area right out in front of the swim, and about 7 wraps out that just drops down to about 16 foot. And like I've said before, from experience, fishing the syndicate anyway, I always had good results from those sort of areas, especially when the winter turns to spring. The fish seem to want to just move up and down these areas. So yeah, I decided to fish that. I did start to see signs of fish showing, so I started to concentrate my bait on these areas that I was seeing the fish show. More like spreading it around really. I wasn't just really tight baiting, I was trying to spread it around the areas. And yeah, it seemed my luck had changed, and I bagged my first Redhouse fish, and it was a new PB as well, and it was a 12.5 pound bream. Not big by Redhouse standards. I think there's some pretty big bream in here. I've heard up to 20 pound in here, so not big by Redhouse standards, but still a PB all the same. And yeah, it was my first fish out of Redhouse, so I was really chuffed to bits with that. So May and June saw me take a little bit of a break away from fishing and Redhouse, and I decided to build myself a camper van. And it's something that I've wanted to do for years, and it's something I've been trying to convince my missus to do for years, but she's finally come round to the idea. So yeah, we went out and bought ourselves a transit custom van, and yeah, I converted it into a camper van. And yeah, we've enjoyed many trips away, and it's just been nice to get away for a couple of months with the missus and Blue. We've had a few trips down to Cornwall. Blue's really enjoyed it as well. It's been nice just to get out. And yeah, we've also had a trip to Bluebell Lakes in it as well. Took Blue with us, which he really enjoyed. So yeah, that was just nice to have a couple of months away, and nice just to get out and do something different, and enjoy a bit of time with the family. So I resumed my campaign on Redhouse about mid-July, and yeah, that's when things started to really change for me really. I decided to target a certain swim on the Pride bank. I noticed that this swim wasn't actually getting fished very much, so I thought, yeah, that's the one for me. And it had a pretty good area out in front of it. It still had the shallows out in front of it and the drop off out in front of it, and it also had quite a nice deeper area out in front of it as well. I have heard a few people say that they've had good results on here on the Royal Marine, so moved over to the Royal Marine bottom baits and pellet, and a bit of the oil as well, the peppered oil, and started applying that on a few areas. I also changed my rigs as well, and if you follow my vlogs you'll know that I'm an avid user of the helicopter rig, and I decided to ditch this and just fish lead clips. The reason for this is because I think with a lead clip you're going to get a lot of better bite indication, and also I think the hooking potentials of a lead clip are a lot better than a helicopter rig. Although I probably will go back to the helicopter rig at some point if I fish different waters, because it's a nice clean bottom here. There's no weed, there's some nice real hard spots. I've got no issue with just fishing a lead clip straight on the bottom. So I also had a change of rigs as well. My thought process was thinking that basically the rigs that I was using probably weren't the best rigs for this place. Again, like I said, the fish have seen it all before, so I just wanted to try something a little bit different. I did move over to the hinge stiff rig for a little while. I had a few bream on that, but no carp. So I decided, yeah, I still wanted to be fishing flat on the bottom, and I wanted to just really scale down my presentation and also scale down my baits as well. So I started fishing the little Royal Marine dumbbell wafters on a Combi Rig. So I've managed to find a couple of real nice spots. One was quite a long range spot, and also I found a nice little spot just at the bottom of the gully, at the bottom of the drop off as well. As the drop off went down, it dropped down to about 16 foot, and there was a nice little gully at the bottom there. And yeah, I figured that this was probably a real good patrol route for the fish. So just concentrating the bait on those, and yeah, that faithful July day when I managed to get my first Redhouse carp. Check that out, 26-pound 2 of Redhouse mirror carp. Chuffed to bits with this fish, man. For those of you who've been following my vlogs on here, you'll know it's been a bit of a struggle for me. And yeah, this is actually my first carp out of Redhouse. So really pleased. And what a fish to have for your first fish. Beautiful colours. Lovely scaly thing as well. So yeah, I was really buzzing at that, and it made all the hard work and effort worthwhile. And yeah, to finally get off on the mark on Redhouse, I felt I'd really achieved something. So yeah, I was kind of like buzzing for the rest of the day. And yeah, if I remember rightly, that was quite a nice day as well. So yeah, just chilling out, relaxing, and yeah, the unthinkable happened, and the alarm screamed off again. Same rod again, middle rod, just in the margin. Just fishing off the shelf. It's a little drop off just off the front of the swim. Goes out to about 7 wraps and then just drops down. Yeah, it seems to be working. Same as I used to do on my syndicate. They had a similar sort of a drop off, and especially this time of year, used to do really well on that. So yeah, been baiting all winter, baiting a couple of spots up, and that's really paying off now. If you'd have told me when I left home that morning that I was going to catch 2 fish out of Redhouse that day, I'd have probably bit your hand off. So really lit the fire in my belly, that did. And yeah, I just wanted to get down here more and more. So I was just trying to do two, maybe 3 nights every time I could come down here, and just try and keep the bait going in on the areas. Blanked a couple of times, and yeah, just kept the bait going on the areas, and all of a sudden the fish just started flowing. So I think the next fish I had was a nice 22-pound common. Check that out. Taken again on just the Combi Rig with a nice little Royal Marine wafter on it, and just a scattering of Royal Marine boilies over the top. Definitely getting into the fish now. Love it. Lovely Redhouse common. Not the one I'm after, but this will do all the same. Can't grumble. Yeah. So yeah, the spots were really producing, and yeah, again, I just kept getting the bait on there, kept coming back. If I'd get here and somebody was in the swim, I'd go on this next swim up, and as soon as they left, then I'd just pack up straight and get in here and get the rigs back out on the spot again. And I think the night I had the 22-pound common, that night I think that was the night I actually had a little cricketback common as well in the middle of the night. I didn't weigh it. I think it must have been about 12 or 13 pound, but again, it's a Redhouse fish, so yeah, I can't complain at that. I did get down here for a few sessions in August, but we did have some really bad heat waves, and I'm not a one for sitting about in the heat, so I decided to stay away. And also, I don't think it's very good fishing for fish when we've got really hot weather, especially with the oxygen levels going low as well. So yeah, I decided to have a couple of weeks away in August, and yeah, we're now in September now, and yeah, I've really enjoyed my year on here so far, and the success I've had as well. I wouldn't say it's been a trial and tribulation, but because I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, I have worked quite hard, trying to work the lake out, trying to work my own fishing out as well, and it's taught me to think about my fishing a little bit more. It's been nice putting the cameras away a little bit, not fishing, not vlogging all the time, just concentrating on my fishing, and also the main reason I haven't put a vlog out for a while is because I just basically wanted to keep my head down. I didn't want to put too much out on what I've been doing. There's a lot of people about in fishing nowadays who quite easily jump on the back of your hard work, and yeah, I just wanted to just keep everything to myself for a little while, and just hopefully build a nice little story for you. So middle of September now, been trying to get down as much as I can, been keeping the bait going on the spots. We're here for a couple of nights now, so hopefully we'll have another fish. So I hope you enjoyed that little update, and yeah, I'm so glad that I decided to do a year on Redhouse this year, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it, to be honest, and really honed my skills as well, and yeah, I've just learned how to change rigs and how to try and adjust my setups and everything to suit the situation that I'm fishing, and also the baiting as well. Do you know what I mean? I've been learning how to bait up properly, and yeah, I think it's really starting to pay off now. But yeah, it's looking beautiful. And it's lovely autumn colours now. I don't know if you can see over there, the gravel bar's really exposed now. I think the lake must be down about 4 foot, I think. As you can see here, that's where the water line usually is. So yeah, it's lost quite a bit of water. So I don't want to jinx a flood, but yeah, we could really do with a bit of rain, to be honest. And it's quite busy. There's a guy over on the point. You've got 3 guys over there. There's a guy up in the left, right in the far corner. I've got Harley 2 swims up to my left. I think there's a couple of guys over there. And no doubt there'll be a few more turn up over the course of the next couple of days. But yeah, I've been fishing this swim, yeah, most of the time now, really. After the last vlog, when I did it over the point, I decided I want to come over to this area. And this was the area I wanted to fish. But yeah, my gear's really done me proud over the winter. The old Tawnies, they still sound like a bag of nails, but yeah, I don't think I'd change them for anything. Really done me well. Still using the Braid as well, which I think is a must in here. Again, that drop off, there's like a lot of rocks and stones and really big rocks that you can feel when you're bringing the lead back in. So yeah, I think the abrasion resistance of the Braid's a must on here. Plus it aids the casting as well. If I'm casting to a long spot, makes it just that little bit easier. I would just say, if you're using Braid, just remember to wet your line, wet it, soak your spool before you cast out, otherwise you will get wind knots, especially if you've got not very good line lay. I mean, these Tawnies haven't got the best line lay in the world, so yeah, sometimes you do get a wind knot. I've also got here the Jag. I think they're called the Jag butt locks, I think. And I'm not sponsored by Jag at all. I actually bought these myself, and the reason I bought these it's because I'm fishing with my tips quite high. When I've been getting a run, it's been lifting the rod up because it's been pulling down on the tip. So yeah, I decided to get the Jag butt locks. They're a pretty simple thing, really, but yeah, if you do snag fishing or whatever, I'd advise getting them. And the trusty old Delkims. These are the Standard Plus. I've had these years. I know people moan about Delks, but yeah, these have never let me down. And I've used them through winters, wind, rain and shine, and they've never let me down. And I've got the ATTS dongles on there as well, with a little ATTS receiver. So yeah, I can just keep the alarms nice and quiet and just have it go off in the brolly or in the bivvy. So when I do get a run, all the heads don't pop up. Yeah, love it. And the swims are really nice as well. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I'm on the Pride of Derby ticket. And the Pride of Derby complex itself is really nice. They've got 2 premium lakes. They've got another little, like a noddy lake, I suppose you'd call it. And they've also got a stretch of the River Trent as well. And I think the initial joining fee, I think, is about £110 a year. And I think it's about £70 a year after that. You obviously have to buy a gate key and what have you. But for the amount of water there is on the complex, and that's really well looked after as well. I mean, this Redhouse itself isn't really manicured. It's a very natural lake. And if it's what you like I do, I like it to be natural. And you can just get yourself nicely tucked away. But the standard fishing here, I mean, you can't moan at £70 a year after you've done your first year. And then you can get your name down on the premium for the premium lakes as well. I know there's quite a long waiting list on there, but the premium lakes themselves, I think they've got numerous £40 fish. I'm not sure there's 50s in there, I don't know, but yeah, if you're looking for a club and you're around this area, have a look at the Pride of Derby, because it's well worth joining. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chill out for a little bit. Might tie some fresh rigs up and just sit and watch the water for a little while. So yeah, just chill out and relax. Well, it's about 8 o'clock now, and yeah, it's more or less pitch black now. So yeah, the nights are really starting to pull in quite fast, and yeah, it's gotten a bit chilly as well. So I don't think it's going to be long before we start getting some colder nights. But yeah, it's been a nice day today. Been quite relaxed and chilled. Did a bit of filming, and put a bit of bait out on my long spot as well. I actually found a long spot out there about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and yeah, it's a bit of a plateau. I don't know how deep it is. I haven't had the marker lead out or the marker float out on it, but it's quite a short drop and you can really feel it bang down. But if you go like a couple of metres either side of it, it's a bit of a longer drop and you can feel it quite soft at the bottom. So yeah, I've just been concentrating a little bit of bait over that over the last few weeks, and I've actually seen fish start to show over it. So yeah, I put a rod out on there earlier today, put a bit more bait on it, and unfortunately the coots started diving on me straight away out there. So and one of them picked me up, so I brought the rod back in again just to check the rig. The thing with the Combi Rig is because it's got quite a supple section at the end. If a coot does actually pick you up, then it's more likely to tangle. So yeah, I just brought that in, put a fresh stick on, and yeah, that went straight out on the spot again. So and I've actually seen a couple of fish out there tonight. So, and about 10 or 15 minutes ago as well, I heard a nice fish bosh just up to the left, about at the same range as the long spot. So hopefully they're moving up and down, so that'll be nice. But yeah, it's been a nice day today, and I think what I'm going to do is sit here for another 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm probably going to get in my bed and get an early night, set my alarm for sunrise, and see what the night brings. So yeah, if I don't see you in the middle of the night, I'll see you in the morning.
this out. Another Redhouse common. Manic. Well, I was just about to show you my a fish I had first thing this morning, and one of my other rods ripped off. I just had another little common. Not going to bother weighing this one, I reckon it's probably just a mid-double, I think. Absolutely nailed in the bottom lip. That hook was about an inch back. Nice one. Another little cricket back common. Can't grumble at this one. There you go. Look at that. Another little Redhouse common. Love it. Like I say, it's about 13-14 pound, I reckon, but still can't grumble. It's another Redhouse fish to my tally. Lovely little common. Let's get this one back and show you the other one. So this is the first of the two fish I've had this morning. I weighed it a little while ago, 19.5 pound this one. Check that out. Yeah, really getting amongst them now. Off the same spot. Yeah, confidence is sky high now. This is the 6th fish I've had now. And yeah, really got the spots rocking. And yeah, now we're in autumn. I'm hoping for some bigger and better things, to be honest. Just yeah, one of the big ones now would be good. So yeah, let's get it back. So this is the setup I've been getting all the fish on, and yeah, some stunning fish I've had so far. So the rigs are obviously working for me, and yeah, it's been a lot of thought process to get around to using this rig, to be honest. I've used this rig a long time ago and haven't used it for 2-3 years, I think. So but it's always been a good rig, but it didn't really suit my fishing that I'd been fishing over the last few years. So that's why I changed over to like the hinge stiff rig and the multi-rig. But this rig really suits Redhouse really well. It's not very weedy on the bits that I'm fishing or the spots I'm fishing. It's actually quite clean and nice, some nice hard gravelly spots. So suits us really well to this rig. And also I can put a stick on this rig as well, and that not only gives it a little bit of extra attraction, but also stops it from tangling as well. So this is the rig, good old Combi Rig. And that's tied on there. It's just got a 13mm dumbbell Royal Marine wafter on there. And that's just soaked in a little bit of the peppered marine oil. I just tip a little bit of that into the boilie tub and just let that soak in, just a little bit more extra attraction really. And that's just tied on there with a hair rig, just a normal hair. And on there is one of our soon-to-be wide gape beak point hooks. That's the size 6 version, really sharp. These are pin sharp, these straight out of the packet, so yeah, really good hooks. I've got a bit of just a shrink tube on there, not only just to trap the hair, but also to give that just a little bit of a kicker as well. That's tied on with just a small length of our 25 pound link, uncoated hook link. That's the brown and black version, the 25 pound. And that's just tied with an Albright knot there, just a simple Albright knot. I've never actually had one of these fail, and I've had fish weeded up and everything, and yeah, had some real hard battles with some fish, and this knot hasn't let me down, so I've got a lot of confidence in it. That's tied onto a bit of 19 pound phantom fluorocarbon hook link, and on the end there you've just got like a perfection loop. I like to tie a perfection loop. I think it's a nice loop because it sits quite straight, like so, rather than a figure of 8 loop. Kicks off to one side. I like a perfection loop. So, and then there I've just got like a small rubber tapered bead, and that just slides onto the quick change swivel and just holds it on there nicely. So, and like I say, I just use that with a just a little PVA stick, a mesh stick, and the stick mix I make up is just like the Royal Marine stick mix with some peppered marine oil as well, just made in like 2-inch sticks and threaded on. And like I say, that not only gives a bit of extra attraction around the hook, but it stops tangles as well on the cast. So, you know, you can punt that out as far as you want, really. And that won't tangle if you've got a nice stick on there. So I'm probably going to do a fresh rig time video of this rig. I have already got one on my website, on my YouTube channel. But it's an old one, so I will do a new one. So I'll leave a link up here to the new one if I get it done by the time this video is released. If not, then I'll leave a link in the description, or it'll be on my YouTube channel. So good old faithful combi rig. And this has been my biggest change. I think I mentioned earlier, I've stopped using the helicopter rig on here. The reason I've stopped using the helicopter rig, I think, is because the bite indication isn't that good with it. There's no need for me to use a helicopter rig on here, again, because it's just a clean bottom and it's really hard bottom as well I'm fishing over. So just gone to the lead clip. Good old faithful lead clip with a quick change swivel on it and a 4-inch distance lead. The reason I'm using a distance lead is because they're the only 4-ounce ones I've got. Plus I'm fishing on an incline which is sloping away from me, so I'm not really worried about that rolling about. So yeah, 4-ounce lead there, so I can punt that out as far as I want, or I can just fish it short. And then just going on to a metre length or a metre and a half length of the 24-pound Phantom fluorocarbon. You can use it as a hook link or a leader, and that's just basically what I'm using on this. And to tie that to my main line, get this down here, it's just a simple back-to-back grinner knot. And again, I've never had one of these fail. I do 5 turns on the braid and 4 turns on the fluorocarbon, and yeah, that's a real strong knot. I've been using this particular one for a couple of weeks now, and I've had fish on it and they're still as strong as ever. I'd still stick that out, so it's no problem. And then obviously I've got my braid main line as well. That's the 28-pound 0.28mm braid main line. Sinks like a brick, really strong, and you really know when you've got a fish on with this stuff. So yeah, it makes the heart race a little bit. So, and that's my setup, and that's what's been working for me. And yeah, I've got every confidence in it now. And to be honest, if I go somewhere else and I've got similar situations, then I'll probably stick to this setup as well, because like I say, it's been working for me. I'm confident in it. So let's get this rig back on, get another bag on, and get this back out on the spot, and then see if we can get another fish. Well, what a session this is turning out to be. 3rd fish of the session, and my first 30-pound carp from Redhouse. Check this out. Hopefully it'll behave itself. Look at this. Beautiful fish. Oh. Yeah. 30-pound too. Look at that. Nice daytime bite as well. And yeah, combi rig. Unbelievable. The hook holds right down inside his mouth. The hook's about 1.5 inches back. Just a little Royal Marine wafter on that. Check that out. What a session. Let's have a look at the other side. Weirded me up a little bit. Had to wade out quite a way to get the net under it to get it in. And if you think I'm holding it a bit strange at the moment, I've got a bad wrist. So yeah, bigger they get, the harder they are to hold. So look at that. £30 too. Well, what a session this has turned out to be. 3 fish. I can't get over it. I'm still buzzing. £30 mirror. My first £30 fish out of Redhouse. And what a stunner it was. Weeded me right up. Yeah, I had to get right out there with the chesties on, and yeah, took a big ball of weed in with it. That really got buried in the weed. I did think I was going to lose it at one point, so and I didn't realise how big it was until I'd actually got it in. But yeah, buzzing. And it just shows, you know, effort does equal reward. You know, all that time I've spent down here in the winter, you know, I could have quite easily got pissed off of it and moved on, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I knew what was in here, I know what fish are in here, and I know they're catchable. It's just a case of changing the way there's fishing, changing my rigs, changing my setup, and just giving myself that little bit of confidence, which I did. You know, the bait I'm using is top notch, and I know the rigs that I've used in the past have always worked for me. But yeah, I just had to scale down a little bit, make things a little bit more finer, and yeah, it's just started paying off. I've had 7 fish now in the space of what, 8 weeks. So yeah, just finding myself an area. My style of fishing is bait an area, find an area and fish it. I'm not one for moving about. I don't like fishing off the barrow really. I like to just set out my stall and try and hope they come to me. If I don't catch, I don't catch. If I do catch, then yeah, what I've done is right. So I've got a few people I know who fish Redhouse, and you know, they're really good anglers. They've been fishing it a long time, you know, and they've advised me to do this, advised me to do that. But you know, I've just gone about it my own way, and just wanted to do it my own way. So not that I don't appreciate their help, it's just I just wanted to do my things my own way, and that's really taught me a lot as well. Really taught me a lot about my fishing, and hopefully I can take that onto my next water and be a bit more successful. So, but yeah, it's looking beautiful at the minute. Wind's picked up a little bit. It's now blowing a west-northwesterly, I think it is, and the spot's now slicking up out there. I got the rig back out and then just put a few spoms over the top of that, the Royal Marine pellet and some boilie and a bit of the peppered marine oil. The reason I use oil is because you can see it slicking up, and that gives you a good indication if fish have been feeding on it or fish are feeding on it. Well, it might be roach, might be bream, but at least you know the spot's active. But yeah, still quite busy. Still got a couple of guys over there, guy on the point. I know there's a couple of guys over there, and there's a couple of guys down the bottom here as well. And it's Thursday afternoon now, so I should imagine it'll start getting a little bit busier. But hey-ho, that's what you get this time of year. Whether I'll fish this throughout this winter, I don't know. I haven't really got anywhere else to go, so I probably will, but I'm away in October for a month with work, so I won't be fishing through the whole of October. So I'll probably do another session after this one and then come down in November and finish the winter off, and that'll be the full 12 months then. And then I'll probably look for somewhere else to go next year. So if you know of any waters that are going at the moment that have got spaces on, let me know around the Midlands area. I really appreciate that. So yeah, got something else I want to show you as well. Again, just turn my screen around so I can see it. I'm not sponsored by these people. I actually bought this myself. But if you're a member of my Facebook group, you'll know that I put a little post on a little while back about a certain company's cooler box that I bought, and it was crap. It was terrible. And I basically got it in the car with an ice pack in it, with some food in it. By the time I got it to the lake, the ice pack had actually melted. So I thought I'd get one of these guys' stuff. Carp Green, their name is. I've actually got them on my Instagram, and I see they do these cooler boxes. And they're not the cheapest, but I've had it here since yesterday, and everything in there is still cold. And you can just see the quality of it as well. Carp Green, they're called. You can find them on Instagram. I think they've got a website as well. Well, they have got a website. That's where I got this from. So yeah, that's a 19 litre one. Nice carpy colours as well. So, like I say, I'm not sponsored by them. I actually bought it. Buy cheap, buy twice, as they say. So yeah, I thought I'd buy a decent one. So yeah, what I'm going to do now, I think, sit back and see if we can get another fish. That'd be good. 4 fish in a session. Some people don't have 3 fish in a year, let alone 3 fish in a session on here, so I must be doing something right. Happy old job. So yeah, chill out, kick back, and wait for that buzzer to rip again. Check that out. Redhouse at its finest. Always a nice sunrise and sunset on Redhouse. Said it before and I'll say it again. It really is a nice place to be. And I've really enjoyed this session, to be honest. It's been really good. It's been quite a long day though. I had that first fish just before first light, the second fish a little while after that. And yeah, I had that big mirror about half 11, 1 o'clock, half 11, 12 o'clock, so been trying to fill the day with a bit of filming as well. So yeah, I'm quite tired, to be honest. So I might put the cameras away in a bit and get an early night. I'll lay and watch the water for a little while and get an early night. I've got to be away early tomorrow as well. It's Friday tomorrow, so yeah, I've got to be away quite early. I've got quite a few things to do tomorrow, so. But yeah, session of a lifetime, really. And yeah, had a £30 carp, so I was quite worried that this year was going to be the first year for a while that I wouldn't have had a £30 carp. But yeah, I've had one now, so brilliant. So yeah, I'm going to put the cameras away now. Get an early night. It'd be nice to have another fish, but I'm not really that bothered, to be honest. I'm happy with what I've had. So yeah, I'll see you in the morning. So we've come to the end of the session now, and yeah, what a session it's been. 3 fish with a nice £30 mirror to top it off. Unbelievable. So yeah, I'm really glad I got my teeth stuck into here this year. Like I say, I've been a member on here for a good few years, but I've only dabbled with the water really, and that's not what you need to be doing with this place really, where you need to be getting down here and really getting stuck into it, which I've done this year. And I'm getting results. It's all paid off for me now, all the hard work that I've put in over the winter. And spring and summer has all paid off. Found the rigs that are working for me. Found a couple of spots. Changed my presentations around a little bit. And my baiting strategies a little bit. Yeah, and I started picking up a few fish, so that's what you need to be doing on here if you want to join this place. That's open to anyone. I'll put a link in the description, Pride of Derby, and just go on their website and you can buy a ticket on there. But yeah, really enjoying it. So yeah, don't forget to check out our website. That's www.acarpyconnection.co.uk. Done a lot of work on that over the last couple of months, and we've got a forum on there as well. So if you like forums, get on there and check that out. I used to use forums quite a lot in the old days before Facebook and Instagram. And I find them just a little bit more personal, to be honest. You don't seem to get so many keyboard warriors on there. And they are a great source of information as well. They're a lot easier to look back on and find information.
Facebook stuff just gets lost on Facebook. So, but we have got a Facebook group, and we've also got a Facebook page as well, which is a Carpy Connection, and we've got an Instagram page as well. If you haven't seen it already, that's at a Carpy Connection as well. So go check that out, give that a follow. Really appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel as well, don't forget to subscribe. And you might want to go back and check out some of my other vlogs from here. This is where my vlogs actually started from, so you might want to go check them out. And you might want to check the one out before this as well. This is it's the precursor to this vlog, so that'll just give you some sort of an insight how I started my campaign on this year, and a little bit more of the story there as well. So yeah, just got the rods to put away now. Rods are always the last thing to put away. We've all had it. We've all had that run when the rods are still out and we're packing the gear on the barrow. I've got all the gear on the barrow now, just a few other bits and pieces to put away, cameras and that. So yeah, brilliant session. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this vlog. It was touch and go whether I was going to continue doing the vlogs, to be honest. A couple of months ago I thought I kind of lost the enthusiasm a little bit, but yeah, the enthusiasm's come back now. So I hope you enjoy this one. Don't forget to comment in the comment section and give this video a like. The more comments and the more likes I get, the better it does on YouTube. So, and hopefully won't be too long to the next one now. I think we're going to go to a little day ticket water somewhere, me and Harley, soon. Probably just do a little film somewhere else. And I'm going to try and get out a bit more now, so do a few other different places. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Until next time, be lucky.